Let's be honest. There comes a moment, often quiet, often alone, when you stand in front of the mirror and ask yourself a question you didn't see coming. Is this still me? You're not talking about your clothes or your lipstick or the fine lines that have slowly, softly begun to settle. No, you're looking at your hair, the way it falls, the way it frames your face or doesn't anymore. You're wondering if this familiar shape still reflects who you are, not who you used to be. Because hair at this stage isn't just hair. It's identity, it's memory. It's a silent, soft-spoken statement about how you feel walking through the world. And yet no one really talks about it. No one tells women over 50 how to wear their hair with quiet strength, with grace, with intention. No one reminds us that we're allowed to change it, not to chase trends, not to look younger, but to feel aligned again. With the woman we are now, that woman has lived. She has earned her elegance. And she deserves a haircut that understands her. So if you've been feeling unsure about your current style, or maybe you've been holding on to a look that no longer feels quite right, if you're ready to feel seen, lifted, softened, and subtly empowered, this video is for you. Because here's the truth no one tells you: hair is power. Not loud, not flashy, but quiet, refined, confident. The kind of power that doesn't ask for permission. The kind that says, I've grown, I know myself. And I choose what beauty means for me now. In this video, we're not just talking about cuts and styles. We're exploring something deeper. How to wear your hair in a way that honors your story, your spirit, and your evolution. I'll walk you through the most elegant haircuts that flatter mature faces, embrace your natural texture, and bring out that calm, undeniable glow that only comes from a woman who's come into her own. We'll talk face shapes, texture shifts, grace-filled styling, and how to speak the language of elegance in the salon chair. So settle in, pour yourself a cup of something warm, and remember, this isn't about changing who you are. It's about honoring her. Oh, and if you love content that uplifts, inspires, and helps you embrace this chapter with style and softness, don't forget to like and subscribe. You belong here. Let's begin. There's a quiet transformation that happens somewhere between 50 and 60. It doesn't announce itself loudly. It doesn't show up overnight. But one day you catch a glimpse of yourself in the mirror, maybe it's while brushing your teeth or reaching for a scarf, and you notice something has shifted. It's not about lines or wrinkles. It's not even about age, really. It's about recognition. Or rather, the feeling that you're not quite seeing yourself anymore. Maybe your haircut hasn't changed in years. Maybe it once framed your face beautifully, but now it seems to hang awkwardly, pulling your features down instead of lifting them up. Maybe your hair feels thinner, more stubborn, more unpredictable than before. Or maybe you've just changed, quietly, internally, and the outside hasn't caught up yet. If that sounds familiar, please know you're not alone. So many women over 60 feel this same subtle disconnect, but few talk about it. And that's what we're here to change. Because what if I told you that the right haircut, not dramatic, not trendy, not artificial, could bring your face back into harmony? Could soften the angles, brighten the eyes, lift the jawline, and most importantly, bring you back into view. Not by erasing time, not by pretending, but by honoring the face you have today, the one shaped by laughter, tears, wisdom, and every chapter you've walked through. This isn't about vanity, it's about reflection. It's about walking into a room and feeling like yourself again. Like the best version of you, polished but not overdone, refreshed but still real, quietly confident in a way only life can teach. At 60, your face has changed. Your hair has changed, but that doesn't mean your options are limited. In fact, this is one of the most exciting times to rethink how your hair can serve your beauty, not fight it. Because here's what we often forget. Hair isn't just about style. It's one of the few things that sits so close to your face. It has the power to completely shift how others and you perceive your features. The right cut can lift, it can elongate, it can soften. And when done intentionally, it can even reshape the way light plays across your skin. This is why some haircuts make your face look slimmer, not in a surgical, sharp kind of way, but in a refined, graceful, balanced way. They bring the eye upward. They create movement. They highlight your cheekbones and open up your features without any needles or gimmicks. But before we talk about specific cuts, and yes, we will get there, I want you to ask yourself something. When was the last time you chose a haircut based not on what you used to wear or what someone else told you would look age appropriate, but based on how you wanted to feel, not 10 years younger? Not like I'm keeping up, but maybe lighter, more open, feminine again, quietly powerful, like I've come home to myself. That's what this is really about, not surgery, not shortcuts, but subtle elegance, the kind that feels effortless because it fits. And let's not forget, after 60, our hair isn't just changing in color. It's changing in texture, volume, direction. Hormonal shifts mean our scalp produces less oil, which leaves hair drier, more fragile, and more resistant to styling. Some women find their once thick locks thinning at the crown. Others notice new cowlicks, frizz, or grays that feel wiry and unpredictable. But here's the secret no one tells you: your hair is not the problem. The cut is. So many women are still wearing cuts that were designed for the hair they had 20 years ago, denser, oilier, fuller. But hair at 60? It needs intention. It needs design, not guesswork. And a truly elegant haircut takes all of it into account: the shape of your face, the direction your hair grows, the places where it's thinning, and the places where it still shines. It respects your natural texture, your lifestyle, your skin tone, your neck, your cheekbones, your eyes. It's not something you copy from a magazine. It's something you co-create with a stylist who listens to more than just your words. Because when your hair and your face work together, you don't need to hide anything. You don't need to fix anything. You just lift gently, subtly, beautifully. And that lift, it does more than just slim your face, it uplifts you. It reminds you that elegance isn't behind you, it's within you. And sometimes all it takes is a few soft layers, a new shape, a part that shifts just slightly, not to change who you are, but to let who you are shine through. So as we step into the next part of this video, I invite you to let go of everything you've been told you should do with your hair. Forget the rules. Forget the number on your license. Forget what someone said was flattering back in 1995. And ask instead, what makes me feel alive? What makes me feel like me, but lighter, freer, and more at ease in my own skin? That's the haircut we're looking for. In the next section, we'll explore how different face shapes, oval, round, square, heart, long, interact with different types of haircuts, and how to choose a style that gently sculpts your face without ever feeling forced. Because your beauty doesn't need to shout, it just needs to be seen clearly, lovingly, and with intention. Let's begin that journey together. No two women age the same way. Even identical twins over time begin to carry their lives differently on their faces, in the way they smile, in the way their skin settles, in the way they've met joy and loss and growth. And that's the beauty of it. You are not meant to look like anyone else, and your haircut shouldn't try to make you. But here's where many women over 60 get stuck, not because they lack confidence, but because no one ever taught them how to choose a haircut that truly honors the shape of their face today. Not 10 years ago, not pre-menopause, not pre-life. Now, the right cut can be like lighting. It can lift shadows, soften edges, and draw attention to your best features without anyone ever quite realizing what's different. They'll just look at you and say, "You look refreshed." But let's be clear, this isn't about correcting your face. You don't need fixing. It's about balance, light, shape, flow. Because when your haircut works with your face instead of against it, something quietly magical happens. Your entire presence begins to glow. Now let's talk about that, not as a list of do's and don'ts, but as a gentle map, a guide that helps you see what your unique beauty is already trying to say. Maybe your face is oval, softly tapered, balanced at the forehead and jaw. It's often considered the most adaptable face shape. If that's you, you have incredible freedom, but even freedom needs direction. Haircuts that follow your natural bone structure, soft layers that fall along the cheekbones, a side-swept fringe that opens the face, a chin-length bob that moves when you move. They don't just flatter you. They echo you, they say, "This is who I am," centered, calm, and completely at ease. Or maybe your face is round, full cheeks, a shorter chin, the kind of face that often looks youthful even when you don't feel it. Round faces are beautiful, but they crave a little vertical lift, not to elongate artificially, but to gently stretch the visual flow. Think longer layers that skim the collarbone or a soft side part that creates subtle asymmetry. A textured lob that falls just below the chin can frame your face without making it feel too wide. Avoid anything that creates bulk at the sides. What you want is graceful length, not heavy width. It's about lifting your natural warmth, not hiding it. Some women have a square face, defined jaw, straight sides, strong cheekbones, a face that speaks of strength, history, and resilience. But strength doesn't always want sharpness. It wants softness too. If that's your face, lean into layered waves, soft curtain bangs, or a long bob with pieces that move gently along the jawline. Avoid harsh lines or razor-sharp edges. You've earned your edge already. Let the haircut bring in the flow. Let it soften your power, not mute it. And then there's the heart-shaped face, wider at the forehead, narrowing at the chin. Expressive, feminine, full of energy. But it can sometimes feel a little top-heavy, especially if your hair still carries volume up top. Here, the magic lies in balance. Choose styles that add fullness around the jaw, like a chin-length cut that flicks outward, or a long pixie with volume near the ears. A gentle side part or soft fringe can minimize the width of the forehead, letting your eyes take center stage. This is not about shrinking your expression, it's about guiding it. Finally, some women carry a long or oblong face, refined, elongated, elegant by nature. But length, especially as we age, can sometimes pull the face downward. What you need is softness across, not down. This is where shoulder-length hair with face-framing layers, curtain bangs, or gentle waves becomes your secret ally. The goal is to create width where it's needed and movement where it's natural. Think of it like painting. You're not changing the canvas. You're playing with light and shadow. And what if you're not quite sure what shape your face is anymore? That's okay. You're not alone. After 60, as cheeks lose volume, as jawlines soften, as necks shift, the sharp categories we once fit into begin to blur. That's not a problem, that's freedom. This is when a truly good haircut isn't just about geometry. It's about intuition. It's about how the strands fall beside your cheekbones, how the ends lift slightly at your jaw, how the layers echo the light in your eyes. It's not about what shape you are. It's about what shape you want to express. So if you've ever sat in a salon chair and felt like your face disappeared under too much volume, or like your cheekbones got lost beneath the weight of outdated layers, or like you were trying to be someone you're not anymore, let this be the moment you rewrite that. The truth is, your face has earned the right to be seen fully, softly, without apology. And the right haircut doesn't hide you. It reveals you. So as we move into the next part of this journey, we'll look at specific styles that work with mature hair, not just in theory, but in reality. Soft bobs that move like breath. Pixies that hug the jaw but feel feminine and light. Shoulder-grazing cuts that offer movement, polish, and ease. But more than that, we'll talk about how these cuts work, why they lift the face, how they add light, and what they say about the woman wearing them. Because at the end of the day, it's not about a trend, it's about a feeling. And when your haircut makes your face feel seen, balanced, and quietly beautiful, you'll know. You won't need anyone to tell you, you'll look in the mirror and smile. Because there you are. There's a beautiful moment that happens when a woman walks out of the salon and she sees herself again. Not just the new haircut, not just the movement of the layers or the fresh feel of her neckline, but herself more alive, more defined, more whole. And very often what she sees isn't a dramatic change. It's a subtle realignment, a gentle shift that brings everything back into balance. The jawline feels softer. The eyes seem brighter, the neck looks longer, and the face, as if by quiet magic, feels lifted. But here's what that moment is really about. It's not the scissors, it's not even the style. It's the feeling of being in harmony again with your face, with your hair, with who you are today. So let's talk about some of the most elegant haircuts that offer this kind of lift. Not because they hide your age, but because they honor it. Because they know that a woman over 60 doesn't need to look younger. She just needs to feel seen. Let's begin with one of the most effortlessly flattering styles for mature faces, the soft layered bob. This isn't the stiff, boxy bob of the past. This is a bob with movement, feathered gently around the face, floating just at or below the chin, with subtle layering that adds fullness without weight. What makes this cut so slimming? It's the way the layers fall. They draw the eye inward and upward. Instead of adding volume at the sides, which can widen a round or full face, the soft layers create a diagonal movement, bringing light to the cheekbones and space around the jaw. And the best part, it works for so many hair textures, whether your hair is fine, wavy, or somewhere in between. Styled with a slight bend or worn straight and sleek, the soft bob doesn't try too hard. It simply lifts gently, gracefully, without needing permission. Now, if you're someone who's always said, "I could never pull off a pixie," may I invite you to reconsider? Because the long pixie, sometimes called the grown-out crop, isn't about boldness. It's about refinement. Picture this: shorter layers around the nape, soft length near the temples, and a bit of fringe that sweeps just above the eyes. This cut opens the face beautifully, highlighting your eyes, elongating the neck, and creating the kind of softness that says, "Yes, I'm still here, and I still care." For women with thinning hair, especially around the crown or temples, the long pixie is quietly powerful. It builds volume exactly where it's needed without piling on weight. It's especially stunning on silver or salt and pepper hair, turning natural color into a feature, not something to hide. This isn't a boy cut. Done well, the long pixie is deeply feminine. Feminine in the way wisdom is feminine. In the way grace arrives only after experience. Now, if you're someone who loves the idea of femininity without fuss, then the shoulder-length cut with subtle layers might be your perfect match. This cut does everything right. It elongates the neck, softens the jaw, frames the collarbone, and offers you freedom. The layers are light, barely visible to the eye, but there in the movement. They prevent the ends from looking heavy or blunt and instead create a sense of softness that moves as you do. You can tuck it behind your ear. You can curl it slightly at the ends. You can wear it straight with a middle part or add curtain bangs for extra softness. It's the kind of haircut that doesn't ask much but gives back everything: shape, grace, lightness. Then we come to a classic, the chin-length bob. There's something almost architectural about this cut. It's precise, clean, tailored, but it's not severe, not when it's done right. A good chin-length bob ends exactly where it needs to, at the jawline, drawing attention upward and bringing structure to the face. For women with softer or rounder features, it adds quiet definition. For those with naturally strong bone structure, it polishes what's already there. But the magic isn't just in the length, it's in the edges. No fraying. No unnecessary volume, just a clean line that says, "I'm intentional." And when paired with healthy, shiny strands, whether they're silver, champagne beige, or chestnut brown, the result is quietly stunning. And then there's the woman who still loves a little edge, a little movement, a little "I've lived and I still play." That woman, she might just fall in love with the modern shag or the elegant feathered cut. This isn't the heavy, wild shag of the 1970s. This is texture but refined, volume but balanced. Think feathered ends, long layers that frame the face, and lightness at the crown to add lift where aging hair tends to fall flat. It's ideal for medium to fine textures, and it's the kind of cut that catches the breeze, that moves when you laugh, that reminds the world you're still vibrant without having to say a word. If you've ever felt your hair go limp or heavy or shapeless, this might be the style that brings it and you back to life. And finally, for the woman who wears her silver with pride, who has stopped coloring not because she's given up, but because she's stepped into something deeper. The sleek silver blunt cut is your crown. There's nothing soft or apologetic about this cut, and that's what makes it beautiful. It's bold, clean, confident. A blunt edge, whether at the chin or shoulders, adds weight to fine hair, creating the illusion of thickness and strength. And when paired with healthy, hydrated silver strands, it doesn't just look elegant. It feels like evolution, like arrival. This cut says, I know who I am and I'm not afraid to shine in it. So which one speaks to you? The soft layered bob, gentle and timeless. The long pixie, modern and empowering. The shoulder length cut, feminine and fluid. The chin length bob, classic and defined. The elegant shag, spirited and light. The sleek silver blunt cut, radiant and intentional. Each of these styles offers something a little different. But they all have one thing in common: they were made for you, not the version of you from 20 years ago. But the one standing here, now wiser, deeper, and more radiant than ever. Because beauty doesn't fade, it evolves. And the right haircut doesn't try to make you someone else. It brings you back to yourself, clearer, lighter, lifted. In our final section, we'll talk about the care, the conversation, and the confidence it takes to make that shift, not just on your head, but in your heart. Because you don't need permission to feel beautiful, you just need a mirror. And the right kind of reflection. By now, you've probably realized that a haircut is never just a haircut. It's a message, a mood, a mirror. It doesn't begin with scissors, it begins with a decision. To show up, to be seen, to soften and to stand taller all at once. But here's something most women over 60 were never taught. You're allowed to ask for more from your stylist. Not just more layers, not just more volume, more understanding, more intention. So how do you do that? How do you walk into a salon, sit in that chair, and speak the language of elegance? You start with this simple truth: you don't have to speak in inches. You can speak in emotions. Before you talk about length or texture or parting, talk about how you want to feel. Do you want to feel lighter, more lifted, softer? Do you want a haircut that feels easy, feminine, quietly powerful? Say that out loud. Because a good stylist will hear it, and if they're the right stylist, they'll build your haircut around you, not just your hair. Bring a photo, yes, but don't say, I want to look like her. Say, I love how the hair opens up the cheekbones in this photo. Or, I love the softness here, it feels relaxed but still refined. That's when real beauty begins, when you stop copying and start curating. And then be honest, not just about your style, but about your life. How often do you want to style your hair? Are you dealing with thinning at the crown? Do you want something low maintenance but still polished? The most elegant haircut in the world won't help you feel radiant if it takes an hour to make it work every morning. Elegance should feel easy, like it belongs to you. And if you're not sure what to ask for, use these words: timeless. Face flattering. Soft. Elegant. Not trendy, something that works with my face, not against it. These aren't demands, these are intentions, because the woman you are now isn't chasing beauty. She's defining it on her own terms. But even the most thoughtful haircut can be lost if it's paired with neglect. So let's talk about care, not as a routine, but as a ritual. You don't need a dozen products. You need a few that respect your hair like you do. A healthy scalp is the beginning of everything. Treat it with kindness, massage gently, use lightweight oils if it's dry, keep buildup away. Deep moisture is no longer optional, it's essential. Hair after 60 is thirstier, finer, and more delicate. Give it masks, give it nourishment, give it shine. Because shine isn't youth, it's health. Trim regularly, not to change your look, but to honor it. Clean ends signal clarity, care, and quiet confidence. And most of all, choose what aligns with you, your lifestyle, your values, your vision. Now, before we close, let's gently talk about what not to do, not as judgment, but as an invitation to choose better. Avoid overly choppy cuts with too many layers. They might look edgy in a magazine, but in real life, they often make mature hair look thin and chaotic. Choose soft, structured layers instead, intentional movement over mess. Avoid hairstyles that weigh your face down, especially if your hair is very long but has no shape. Length is lovely, but shape is everything. A well-placed layer can do more for your profile than any filter. Be mindful with bangs. Harsh, blunt bangs can age your face faster than time ever could. Opt for feathered, side-swept, or curtain styles that blend, lift, and let your skin breathe. And most importantly, avoid hairstyles that require you to be someone you're not. If it only looks good with 3 products, a round brush, and an hour of effort, it's not serving you. It's slowing you down. The right cut will work with your life, not against it. Because elegance doesn't try, it knows, and maybe that's the real secret. The most elegant haircut isn't something you chase. It's something you choose with clarity, with calm, and with quiet joy. And now I want to leave you with this. If you've ever felt invisible, if you've ever wondered whether your beauty still matters, if you've ever doubted that hair at your age still holds power, let me tell you this: you are not invisible, you are not fading, you are becoming. Every strand of silver, every subtle wave, every soft frame around your eyes, it's all a part of the woman you've grown into. Not a lesser version, not a past their prime version, but the most honest version. And your hair, when chosen and cared for with love, becomes a reflection of that truth. So go ahead. Let the world see you, not the younger you. Not the polished, perfect version, the present you, the woman who walks into a room and glows from the inside out. Let your haircut be your quiet statement: I've lived, I've grown, and I still deserve to feel beautiful. If this video spoke to you, I'd love to hear from you in the comments. Tell me, what style are you wearing right now? What are you thinking of trying next? Let's build a space where women over 60 support one another, one strand at a time. And if you found something valuable here, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this with a friend who needs to hear it. Your most elegant chapter, it's not behind you, it's just beginning.